climate models that are predicting more droughts in some regions, more floods in other regions, more hurricanes as we've got more heat in the oceans.
Sea level is rising. If you have more storms, you get more what's called a storm surge. The winds push the water up over the land, and as we can show by documented evidence, we are having more intense precipitation events already. Those changes in heavy precipitation events are directly related to the increasing amount of human-caused greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. It's not just random, they're actually going up. Now, water is a huge issue. We either have too much or too little. The situation of extended drought conditions costing economically, jobs, as well as environmentally, huge impacts in this decade. And we're getting more intense precipitation events, which lead to the deluges like we had in Toronto in the summer, which cost the insurance companies $800 million. The society costs are way beyond that.
We have the same type of changes happening over the last few decades that we had happening about 100 years ago in the high Arctic. One of the important ecosystem realities of this warming in places like Hudson's Bay is that there have been some fisheries, so a lot of native people use these fisheries, and over years these fish have been dying in summer. They're too hot. These fish are adapted to cold water habitats, and the lakes are changing their temperature properties, and so the fish are dying. So here's a direct, economic, if you like, or nutrition problem.
Singaporeans often curse at the sweltering heat and sudden heavy downpours, but now there comes a new reason to be concerned. A new study published in renowned science journal Nature said Singapore's climate will change irreversibly in as little as 15 years. Though other countries are predicted to experience a similar fate, Singapore will be one of the first to feel the heat.
As the climate is changing and we're changing those conditions in the atmosphere, it's just making everything more dynamic. More dynamic means it's going to be more variable. So we're going to have periods in a particular location that might have more storms, more intense storms. We really need to wrap our heads around the natural climate cycle. So a lot of these colder than normal periods that we experience now are because of things like La Nina and these sort of natural climate oscillations that are happening anyway. So how are they going to change? Those types of fluctuations are going to become more prominent with climate change. It's not just everything's going to heat up and melt. Things are going to get really variable too.